What you just heard there was the sound of the Flight Sophia TE Soundwave ukulele. I'm Greg Owl for Ukulele Magazine, and that's what we're going to be looking at right now. It's this interesting little uke that comes from a Slovenian maker. All those little effects you heard, you probably heard a little bit of reverb on there and some echo. That was no wires, no demon electricity coming out of this thing into an amplifier. It's all built into this. What this has is a special onboard system here. It has a volume control and of course a power button so you can turn it off as we have it right now. But if I turn it on, there's a volume control that'll amplify the sound of the ukulele, its natural sound as it is. And then there's also some signal processing on here so that you can add effects including reverb, chorus, and delay. So that you get that nice little echo sound. And they're all adjustable so you can add more or less of them. And the delay changes from like a quick tut-tut-tut to a longer, spacier one. So you can get some really far out sounds with this, and also some really just regular usable things that are great around the house or when you are at a gig. Let's start by listening to it acoustically, and then I'll turn on the onboard system so that you can hear what it does. Okay, so to turn it on, what you do is you hit the switch here. Little green LED comes on, and if you're paying attention, you'll feel a little click that comes on when the device that's inside the instrument, it's attached to the back. It's called an actuator, and it acts like a little speaker that makes the whole body then become and even more like an amplifier. It increases the sound and increases the sound output, and then you can blend in these effects. So let's start by hearing with a little bit of reverb. I've turned the reverb up about halfway just so you can get a sense of some of the spaciousness it offers. I'll turn it up all the way, which is far more than you'll ever need. But let's just give it a listen. I'll play a few spacious sounding chords for you. I'll just turn it up all the way. And since we're being spacey, why don't I add a little bit of delay to it to get kind of freaky. And one thing I found was you can really control the sound by holding it either just closer to your body or holding closer to your body and resting your arm on top. You can really either mute the effect or you can help increase it. So if you take it away, the whole thing is just very active and you can feel it. And in fact, you can turn up the volume so much that the whole uke just starts to feed back, which is one little flaw or strangeness or feature if you're into that kind of stuff. But you can stop it by that. So as you can see, it's easy to get carried away, but there's also lots of usable sounds in there and good sounds that are not just fun, but something you could really use on a gig. So when you do plug it in through the jack over here into an amplifier, it stops the body actuator, so you have to not worry about that feedback issue. Just sends that process signal over to the amp. And so you can control your volume and your effects wherever you are on stage, which is pretty sweet. That's a pretty cool thing, not have to deal with the pedals. So for that little sample, I had reverb up about 40% and then had the chorus all the way up. So that was that sort of swirly, lush, wet sound that you heard happening. So let's get away from the effects portion of it for a minute and talk about the actual instrument itself. The Sophia is made with a solid spruce top, laminated walnut back and sides, which are really beautiful, if you ask me. Walnut is a really underappreciated wood for its beauty and for its tone, which most instruments, whether it's a uke or a guitar or something else, it tends to make them sound a bit crisp and with a nice solid low end to them. And with the laminated sides and back, it's a nice sturdy thing for the actuator to operate against, so it doesn't vibrate too much. It has the neck made out of okume with an open headstock, which is a nice, classy touch. I think a classy and very functional. I love them myself. And the fingerboard is made of another rosewood alternative called Purple Heart. It's Purple Heart fingerboard and a Purple Heart bridge. And it's a wood that is been used in some high-end custom instruments, but underused probably. It's generally used as an accent because it's a beautiful purplish color, but this has been darkened, and so it looks a bit like an ebony or a rosewood. And it's just like that. It sounds like it, it feels like it. It has gold-plated open gear tuners on the headstock, and this has Brownworth strings on it. You should be able to find this at a shop for about $419 is their street price, and that includes the electronic system. They have a version without the system, and you drop the Soundwave part out of the name, and you just have the Sophia TE, which means tenor electric. And that's a bit less money, but with the system on here, I think it's a pretty good value, dollar for dollar, in terms of there's a lot of fun with the effects and the nice crisp sound. So I'm Greg Olwell for Ukulele Magazine. I hope you enjoyed this review, and please feel free to leave a comment.